Donald Trump's former personal attorney and fixer, Michael Cohen. He is the host of the Mea Culpa podcast and the author of Disloyal, a memoir, the true story of the former personal attorney to President Donald J. Trump. Michael, good to see you this morning. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning, Ollie.
What is sort of amazing is that on February the 28th, tomorrow, the president is going to address CPAC, which used to be a conservative-ish conference. It's now sort of a gathering of who knows what, a bunch of people who say crazy things. But there is implication here that he is going to put himself forward as the presumptive nominee, the candidate for the Republican Party for president in 2024. What do you make of this?
So I remember when I went with Donald at the time to CPAC, and he had a great time there. He really enjoys the cheers of the crowd. Now it's even more interesting because of the artist that produced that gold Donald. Now he actually thinks he's a god. He's like a pagan god that people are lining up down the hallway in order to take a photo with a stupid looking, pagan idol of Donald. And if you just look at like what Mitch McConnell said about him, why in the world would you want to stand next to something that represents such hatred and racism and sexism and misogyny and all of these other issues, including anti-democracy? To me, it just doesn't make any sense. But he's taking it as a win for him. It's amazing that the way the man thinks.
Talk to me about how he does think. Does Donald Trump believe these things? Does he hear the adulation and the cheers and the photographs and think that he is something special? Or does he sit there and say to people like you, I got these guys fooled?
Well, it's a combination of both. First of all, not only does he need the adulation, the cheers, and the screaming for him, he needs that the way that you need oxygen to breathe. And that's just the way that the man is. And what makes him sociopathic is the fact that he continues not just to lie to himself over and over and over again, but he manages to convince others by repeating the same lie over and over. Now, of course, he believes it. So you will get a packed CPAC house of people that will come there simply just to either take a photo with the pagan Donald or to see him speak and to continue to spread these, horrific sort of comments, which he's been doing now for over 5 years.
So when you talk about things like the big lie, the lie that he lost the election, the lie that they're trying to steal the election for him, the big lie is started by little lies. When you get people to believe your little lies, you can tell the big lie. Is he feeling strong and like the man who might be the next president of the United States, or is he feeling nervous right now about all of the pressure that's continuing to build on him, including the Manhattan DA, who finally has his tax documents?
Yes, that's a great question. So the answer is publicly, he will pretend that he's invincible. He's the Teflon Don. But in reality, inside, when he's laying down in bed or he's alone, he realizes the extent of the pressure. He's not stupid. He may be crazy, but he's not stupid. He realizes the pressure that's coming at him. Not only is it the Attorney General, Tish James, who has an action pending or an investigation pending, but now, of course, Cy Vance, our district attorney, who brought on a veteran, Mark Pomerantz, who is really, quite competent at this type of investigation. But you also have a whole slew of other litigation that he's now dealing with, whether it's E. Jean Carroll, whether it's some reserve votes, whether it's my civil action against Trump. He's got a whole slew of litigation that's pending against him that he actually hates being involved in litigation, believe it or not. When he is the defendant. When he's the plaintiff, he's as happy as pie. But when he's the defendant, he hates it because he knows he basically loses every single case that he's a defendant in because he lies. And you can't get him to sit for a deposition because his lawyers won't allow it because the entire deposition is going to be filled with untruths.
Let me ask you about enablers. You were a former enabler of his. He does surround himself with people who will do what he needs to do. Those enablers around him, including the foam pillow guy, including Rudy Giuliani, including Sidney Powell, they're all getting sued for a lot of money right now. Does he still have people around him now that he's not the president of the United States who will, I'm trying to find the nice word for blow smoke, you know what I'm saying. Does he have people like that around him now, and how does he survive with fewer of them?
So the answer is I was the chief enabler for Donald, but I want people to understand that when I was doing it for him, I was special counsel to the president of a large family real estate company. The enabling that he has going on now, whether it's the Rudy Giuliani's or whether it's the My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell, or Sidney Powell, they're all incompetent. And that's the beauty for the rest of us, that no matter how hard that they try, number one, they don't know him. They don't know how he's going to react. I unfortunately do. And I can tell you that none of them are operating in a way that's going to create a benefit for Donald Trump. And at the end of the day, what you're going to have is a Donald and family and others that are going to be having to deal with issues like the district attorney, like the attorney general, like D.C. For the insurrection, all of the civil litigation. His mind is not going to be focused on a 2024 run. And that's, of course, assuming that he doesn't end up spending time in prison or some other form of justice that he's managed to escape basically his whole life.
Michael, good to see you this morning. Thank you for joining us. Michael Cohen is a former personal attorney to Donald Trump. He's the host of the Mea Culpa podcast and the author of the book Disloyal, a memoir, the true story of the former personal attorney to President Donald J. Trump.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.